Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Dawn. I'm so glad you could join me today. I am super excited because I get to play with the Spellbinder Bottle Brush Trees Duo die set. I've been wanting this die set for a while now because you can do so much with it. You get two trees and they have a base and then a top layer. You get a trunk up for the tree and some ornaments. And I'm going to pair it up with the Spellbinder Christmas die and Glimmer sentiments. These sentiments are awesome. Wait till you see them after I hot foil them. This set comes with so many different greetings, everything you could want for a Christmas sentiment. This set will definitely be a go-to for my Christmas cards. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is heat up my Spellbinder Glimmer machine. While it's heating up, I'm going to take the little sentiments and I'm going to tape them onto some black cardstock, and then I'll lay them on top of some Spellbinder matte gold foil. Now make sure to spread them far enough apart and far enough to the right hand side so that you can die cut them later. I made the mistake of putting the first one too much to the left and I wasn't able to die cut it, which I'll show you what I mean later. So I just wanted to point that out to you now so you don't make the same mistake that I did. Then I'm going to turn them upside down so the plates are on the hot foil machine. I'm going to put the plastic shim on top of the cardstock, and then I put the cutting plate on top of the plastic shim. I press the timer, and while it's heating up, I will get my Spellbinder Platinum 6 die cutting machine ready. I also want to apologize for my camera being a little shaky. There's about a minute or so that it is, and I'm not sure why, but it did fix towards the end of the video. Okay, when the hot foil machine light stops flashing, I'll pull the tray out of the Glimmer machine and then run it through the die cut machine. And then I'm going to put it back in the Glimmer machine in case I want to hot foil some more, which I probably will do a bunch of these to save because you can use them on so many different cards and it'll be good to have them handy and ready to go. I'm going to lift up the sentiment plates and be very careful when you do this because the little plates, they can be very hot, or you can just wait for them to cool down because you don't want to burn yourself. And then I'm going to very gently pull up the hot foil, and then look at how nice these came out. I think they came out beautiful. Okay, now let's cut these out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to line them up on top of the sentiment that we just foiled. And I wouldn't put the tape over the hot foil because it can ruin the hot foiling that you just did. And then here is where I tried to cut out the top sentiment and the die was hanging off the left side of the paper, so I couldn't use it. I did try though. I tried everything to move it all around, but it just wasn't working. But that's okay. Lesson learned, and now I know, and hopefully this helps you. Okay, now that I cut them out, I'm just going to set them aside for later. I went ahead and die cut all the different pieces that I'm going to need to put the trees together and the rest of the sentiments. I did die cut two different colors for the trees, and I used craft cardstock for the tree base, and I did a red and gold glitter cardstock for the ornaments for the trees. And then I die cut the sentiments out of gold metallic cardstock, and I'll just set everything aside for now. I wanted to use the Simon Hurley Sparkling Snow 3D embossing folder. This embossing folder is awesome. It makes such a great background. And the first thing I'm going to do is spray my cardstock with a little bit of water. This helps it to emboss without cracking the paper. I put it inside the embossing folder, and then I put it on the cutting plate, and then I used a plastic shim on top of that, and then I used a metal shim on top of that, and I'm running it through my Gemini Junior. I couldn't find the right shims to run it through my Platinum 6, so that's why I had to use my Gemini Junior. But oh my god, look at this. This embossed so nice. I think the embossing folder is beautiful and you could do so much with it. Okay, I went ahead and trimmed the background down to 4 inches by 5 1/4, and now I'm going to assemble all of my pieces. I put a little bit of glue on the tops of the tree. Now, be very careful not to put too much glue. I put tiny little dots, and honestly, if you're not careful, you can still smudge it. If you didn't want to use the liquid glue, you can use a very strong spray adhesive. That would work also. Or you can die cut them with some adhesive sheets so then they become a sticker. Any of these ways will work. You just have to do which one you like the best. I colored the tops of the tree base with my Copic marker E37, and then I just adhered the two pieces together. I put a little bit of glue on the stem and just adhere the tree to the base. It makes the trees almost look 3D in my opinion, which is kind of cool. And just be careful because the tree stems are a little fragile. If you wanted to give them more strength, you can layer them up, but I didn't think it really needed it. I thought they were fine with just the one layer. Next, I'm going to adhere the sentiment onto the die cut we did with the hot foiling. Now, same thing with the sentiments. You have to put very little glue on them or they will smear when adhering them. If you use the liquid glue, I just actually dab a little off on my finger, but you can dab it onto a paper towel, or again, you can use a spray adhesive or some of the adhesive sheets to make them into stickers, whichever one you think works best for you. Okay, let's decorate our tree and finish this card up. I love that you can put stars or you can put circle ornaments if you want to. I decided to put a gold star on the top of the trees, and then I alternated a gold and red ornament all the way to the bottom of the tree. I'm just using a little bit of glue and my jewel picker, which it makes it much easier to pick up the little pieces with and move them around. I think the ornaments really make the trees stand out and it adds just enough sparkle to it. All right, now we're going to put our card together. I took a piece of green cardstock and I'm adhering it to the back of the snowflake background. I'm sure you noticed I die cut some trees out of it first. No one will ever know you did this, and it helps to save on your cardstock since it is so expensive. Then I adhere the entire card base to a white A2 size card base. I put some foam tape on the back of all of the trees. This will give dimension to the card. I think when you add dimension to a card, it really changes the look of it in a good way, and I find it very appealing in my opinion. I adhere the biggest tree in the middle of the card, and then I'm going to put the two smaller trees, one on either side of the big tree. And then to finish off the card, I'm going to adhere the sentiment in the middle of the trees. I didn't use foam tape on the sentiment since I did use it on the trees. And that's going to complete my card for today. This card was so fun to make, and I can't wait to come up with more ways to use both of these die sets. I want to thank you for joining me on the Scrapbook Pal YouTube channel. I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the card. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the Scrapbook Pal YouTube channel and their other social media platforms so you don't miss out any great inspirational videos. Also, check out their website for any new releases they might have. As always, I want to thank you for spending your time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.